and yanks backward, and the crab stumbles. Shadows flicker, peeling away from the walls and swirling into a tall, lean shape. Jack usually fights with a spear, but for this, she carries a short, heavy blade with enough weight to crack the crab shell. She lines up a two-handed swing with one of the pinioned legs and nails the joint expertly, crushing the thin armor and taking the leg off. It crashes to the deck, still twitching, and Jack spins to sever the other. The blue shell reaches for her with a claw, but she's already gone, vanished with a swirl of shadows and a mocking laugh. Zaroon releases his hold on the broken legs and steps forward, his own Melos armor glowing around him. The crab turns awkwardly, shifting on its remaining limbs, would-be prey forgotten in its effort to get at its tormentors. It tries to reach Zaroon with its claws, but he grabs and holds them with Tartak force. It shoves closer, lashing him with its tentacles, their sharpened tips drawing bright green flares from his armor. I know from painful experience that each of those flares is matched by a bloom of heat across his skin, slowly increasing from mild to unbearable. But Zaroon doesn't show any strain. And he's got the crab's attention, which is all I need. I shift the flow of Melos power, letting one blade fade away while the other shortens and narrows into a thin, brutal spike. Energy collects in my fist, growing hotter by the moment. When I can barely stand it, I sprint forward, darting past the blue shell's ruined back legs and slipping underneath it. The armor is thick here, but it still has seams, and I drive the spike in between two plates. It breaks through with a crunch, and I release the energy I've gathered, a wave of coruscating fire that rips through the creature's vulnerable innards. I have to jump back as it collapses, twitching wildly. Chalk up another one. This is getting almost too easy. I let my armor fade away and shake out my hand. Wisps of steam are still rising from between my fingers. "You're getting better at that," Zaroon says, hopping over the crab's outstretched claws. "I still can't get the hang of it." He's in his hunting gear, ragged trousers and an open vest that shows off a well-muscled torso. His dark hair long enough that it's starting to curl, skin Jayashtani copper, and eyes a startling blue. For all that he's toothsome, as the late and unlamented butcher might have put it. These days I find I can look at him and appreciate without being tempted. I have everything I need waiting for me back in the garden. Maybe too good, I say, shaking my hand again. My skin feels tender and raw, though without the muscle ache of full power burn. I think I cooked myself a little. "A little burn is better than not killing the thing first try," Zaroon says. "Nothing like a mortally wounded blue shell thrashing around to ruin your day." "Don't remind me," I mutter. "Brave companions, I see we are victorious once again." Shadows shiver and part to reveal Jack, who bows like a conjurer at the end of a trick. She's half a head taller than me, skinny as a pole, dressed in flowing, colorful silk. Her head is half-shaved, with the remaining hair dyed a brilliant purple. Her features make her look imperial. But her accent careers wildly across the known world and beyond. "Another triumph to add to our legend," she goes on. "Another mighty deed in a life replete with mighty deeds. Truly no heroes have ever been so valorous as we three, pitting ourselves alone against the monsters of the deeps, with no thought for our own safety." "We're only out here because you kept saying you were bored," Zaroon says. "And because you said you were tired of fruit and bread," I remind him. "True." Zaroon looks at the blue shell and licks his lips. "That's going to be some good eating." "We have to get it home first," I say. "Clever Jack will scout the way," Jack says immediately, shadows rushing around her like dark water. Her voice fades gradually as she vanishes. "It would be terrible to be ambushed, after all. Many are the perils that haunt the dark places of Soliton." Zaroon and I exchange a look and roll our eyes. In truth,